This is CTV Newsnet. Now, this hour's top story.
Traces of uranium have been found at a site in Syria where it is believed a covert nuclear reactor was once located. The traces could be the first solid evidence of an advanced nuclear program in Syria, but the UN says the samples are not conclusive and further tests are needed. The U.S. has accused North Korea of helping Syria build a nuclear reactor. In 2007, Israel bombed the site, which now remains vacant. Could a nuclear bomb be lurking under the Arctic ice in Greenland? A BBC investigation is uncovering new details now, 40 years after a B-52 bomber crashed near the Thule base in Greenland. With more on this troubling revelation, we go to Gordon Edwards, the president and co-founder of the Canadian Coalition for Nuclear Responsibility. He joins us from Montreal. Was this part of what was named the Chrome Dome flight?
Yes, that's right. This was back in the days of the B-52 bombers, and it was a top-secret mission where the bombers were flying all the time in the air, and they flew over Baffin Island, and they flew over Greenland, and they had a complete route that they patrolled. And the main purpose was to spot if anything was being destroyed by the Soviets so that they could give a signal to launch the missiles as a counterattack, a nuclear exchange, in other words.
So how many missiles would they have had on board?
They had 4 hydrogen bombs on board. There was one that crashed 2 years earlier in Palomares, Spain, and they had to do a big cleanup there. And this one that crashed in Greenland, they had to do a big cleanup there as well, but the weather conditions were so severe that even though they realized that they had lost one of the bombs, they could not account for it. And there was a fierce fire. The B-52 caught fire in the air, crashed to the ground, and the conventional explosives went off, but not the nuclear explosive, and that scattered radioactive contamination, mainly plutonium, all over the ice. But it also went down to the bottom because it melted right through the ice.
So what could the environmental impact be of that plutonium? Because I gather it's got, what, a 25,000 year half-life?
Well, that's right, and it's nothing to fool around with. As a matter of fact, the amount of plutonium, it's a ball of plutonium, just a few kilograms, but that's enough to, theoretically, to kill over 1 billion people. So it's very poisonous. That's why when they did the cleanup originally, the U.S. military took away 2 million cubic meters of ice that was contaminated in order to process that ice and recover the remnants of plutonium. Well, a quarter of the plutonium is still there in the form of this lost warhead. So it's really too dangerous to leave there. They should be now.
How could they possibly find it?
Well, for example, down in Spain in 1966, they had over 20 vessels. They had 150 divers, and they had to dive to a depth of 2,500 feet in order to locate the bomb that had been that had gone missing there. So I think they're just going to have to do it in this situation near Greenland.
Is global warming having an impact?
Yes, global warming is making these waters much more accessible, and modern technology is making it easier to find things in the ocean. Previously, 40 years ago, we didn't have the technology we had today. But I think that Canada should be requesting the United States military to move this up to a top priority, to actually launch a mission to identify where this bomb has gone and to recover that plutonium before it gets disseminated into the Arctic food chain.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much for telling us more about this. Gordon Edwards, thank you.